got on the couch tonight. Roy Brothers Podcast. Johnny Rotten, baby.
Yep.
That's right.
How's it going, John?
Yeah.
Not bad.
Thanks for coming on tonight, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, got a busy schedule. I'm sure you're coming out and talk with us. We appreciate you taking your time to hang out on our amateur podcast couch. You know what I mean?
It's pretty cool.
It's a work in progress, but appreciate it.
It's like a shed with windows.
Yeah. It's old like one, too. You know what I mean? It's this old apartment with all the wood paneling. But I think it adds to the style. You know what I mean? With my curtains. You know what I mean? It's kind of cool, you know? But yeah, man, I appreciate you coming on. So yeah, we'll kind of get right into it. So we always usually at the start off the show and kind of ask, you know, the comics, like, start off from the beginning before we get into all the good meaty stuff. Like, how did you get into comedy, and like what got you into it and why?
I always loved comedy, but I never thought to do it.
Yeah.
And then John did my friend we did a birthday party at his house.
Mm-hmm.
And he hired, unbeknownst to me, he hired a few comics. Well, I ended up knowing the comic. I knew John from before comedy.
Yeah.
So he had the comics on, and the whole night I was sitting there busting balls with the comics.
Yeah.
And John's like, you should try this.
Yeah.
You should try going up. And I said, And then one of my friends who was a bar owner was at the party. He's like, if you do it, we can do it at my spot. So I got John a spot to do my first show. I did like 15 minutes. It was crazy.
Really?
Like it was terrible. it was literally terrible, but it was funny because I had never done it before. So I had no idea, no expectations on what to write, I didn't write anything.
Yeah.
I just showed up and talked for 15 minutes.
Just talking.
But I had a couple gags. I came in with my first joke was with a baseball bat.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I went.
Right.
I said, I just, I'll do a little bit.
Yeah.
I just started comedy. I been told you're supposed to have a manager.
Yeah.
So everybody's bothering me when you're gonna get a manager. So I went out and got a manager. So hold on, let me introduce you to my manager. And I pull out the bat and slam it on the stool. And I'm like, this is Lou. Direct all your questions to him.
Yeah.
It got a laugh, but John's behind the scenes pulling his hair out. You're like, no.
Yeah.
You should bring that one
You can't
back.
threaten the audience.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wasn't threatening them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've only pulled that out a couple of times. Like for certain events, I'll sneak that one in. But that's a touchy one. You can't do that one at a club.
I think it'd scare the shit out of me if I saw that.
Yeah, it would. But it's fine. The way I do it, it's funny. There's nothing threatening about it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's funny. So
sometimes I'd have somebody bring the bat up. Like, bring the man.
Bring my manager.
They think it's my manager.
Yeah. Just a fucking bat, Louisville slugger.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So you've been doing it for a couple of years now. You said you know John. Do you mean John Parati? You've known him?
I've known John for got to be 20 something years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I started comedy in 2011 or 2010 or 11.
Yeah.
But I only did it for like a year, and then I had a couple deaths, and when you have deaths, you don't feel funny. So for about a year and a half, I took off, but it was calling me. Like once you do it, as soon as you get up on the stage, there's nothing like it. And there's nothing going to replace it. I've done all the drugs you can do.
Yeah.
And this one, it's cheap.
Exactly, right?
And it doesn't lose you your house or your stuff.
Won't take your house,
Exactly. So it calls to you when you, like, if you really want, I wish I would have started this a lot younger because it would have been a lot better.
Yep.
But starting late and stuff, you go through the stuff. Everywhere, you're too old.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the cool thing about comedy is like you could be any age you want.
Exactly.
Yeah. Who's that guy? It was Andy Higgins or whatever his name is. He's an older guy, and he comes out and he's like, as you can see, I'm still paying off my student loans.
I think I know you're talking about. I probably see him on Facebook. A lot of things too. It's like some comedians I see.
I think that's his name. I forget.
You see him so briefly for like 30 seconds, and well, that was funny. But if you don't click on the link, you just forget who they are. So I'm probably one of those people. You know what I mean? But
the point is, age shouldn't be a limiting.
No, well,
factor.
Rodney Dangerfield started late.
Yeah,
a lot of comics, and some comics started early, but they didn't get their break till later.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
they didn't change their style or find their voice till later in their career. Like Colin was a comic for years
Yeah.
before he found his voice.
Yep.
Bill Burr, same thing.
Yep.
Bill Burr was my open mic.
Doing New England
Yeah,
stuff.
and
Yeah. I read John's book. I heard a little bit about it. I've heard some stories that, John's always saying how he booked them for like $25, and I read his book recently. How it's called How Comedy Saved My Life. Check it out. But I've seen that, right, and that's cool. You know what I mean? But you just never know what's gonna happen.
you could be doing this for 5 minutes
Yep.
or 5 years, and then you'll get in front of the right people at the right time,
Yeah. That's.
and then boof, it'll be off to the races.
Yep.
But nothing prepares you for it but practice. So
Yep.
if you're a comic and want to do this, you got to get to the open mics.
Yep. It's all about repetition.
I know they suck. Everybody
They could be
knows
tough.
suck.
They could be tough.
But they're valuable because if you're up on stage and you have that minute where you're not hearing nothing back, that could be the end of you if you don't have experience with it. And that's what you get from the open mics. Because the toughest rooms are the open mics.
Definitely. It's just a tougher crowd because everyone's really just there to practice their stuff. You know what I mean? People aren't paying to be there to laugh at the end of the day. People are going to hang out and just do their set, kind of shoot the breeze with the crew that they're with. Can't even speak to that they're there with. You know what I mean? I definitely see that a lot. Hey man, I tell Rob, me and Rob both agree. Like we just go there, have fun with it. You know what I mean? And just doing our own thing, So, but so that's cool. I didn't know you've been doing comedy for so long. I think me and Rob, we've known you for a little bit now, doing some comedy, but I didn't know too much about your background. So it's kind of cool to hear it. That's my main thing. I was asking people like, what got you into it? Because comedy, it's like me. I'm like, I never thought I'd be doing this.
Yeah, me neither.
So it's like, how did you get into it? What made you do it? You know what I mean? So you started doing shows a little bit for John back in the past. You did that show at like his birthday party or something like that, and that's pretty much what's kickstarted it a bit.
Well, I never did the shows before the party. I got into it that night. And the first show I ever did was for the bar owner.
Yep.
That we did. And then after that, I probably did 5 more shows. One time I brought Eddie to a show.
Yeah.
Eddie Galvin.
Yeah, he's funny.
I brought Eddie to a show that he was on with his sister and John and them. And I had probably been in it 10 minutes.
Yep.
And there's like 500 people in the ring. Hey, you want to do 5 minutes? And of course, you're going to say yes. Because you don't know any better. You know what I mean? And I went up there, did 5 minutes worth of vagina jokes.
Yeah. Right.
Lost all semblance of respect with everybody in the audience, but it was fun. It was nice to do it in front of 500 people. It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know.
In front of a bigger crowd, you think?
A bigger crowd, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Rob, what do you think? You've done a show versus open mic. What do you think you think it's a better crowd?
Yeah. Definitely easier on the ego.
It's, like we were saying off camera, I actually just watched my first show, and I didn't do as bad as I thought I did.
No.
Yeah. Can't beat yourself up.
No.
I'm not, but it's, I got laughs throughout, which is kind of uncommon.
That's definitely a thing, though, when you watch yourself.
Yeah.
I hate watching myself.
Well, you're wicked critical because you know what you wanted to show, and then you see what you did, and you're like,
It's like, that's what I sounded like?
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of it too is like getting over hearing your own voice. That's it for me. Like even watching the episodes, like I sound like a weirdo, dude. That's how I sound. You know what I mean? Like
I edit it, I upload it. Like just I edit, upload. I never watch it again.
I honestly I watch it sometimes. I found myself.
You sound weird.
Yeah, I do sound weird, dude. I don't know what the fuck I'm like.
I think I'm watching Pirates of the Caribbean when I'm talking.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, what was I say? There's more of a side note. I didn't prep you for this question, but like, what's the whole Johnny Rotten thing? Like, how did that come up? How did the Rotten thing
question.
Yeah, how'd that come to fruition? If you know what I'm asking. That's more of on the spot question. I was kind of curious. It just popped in my head.
I told that as a joke one time, but it's not a very funny joke.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I used to fight a lot. Mm-hmm. So one of the kids tagged me with this, you rotten bastard.
Yep.
And Johnny Rotten came out of there.
Yeah.
And it was basically just a nickname that stuck.
Yeah.
So when I started comedy, I'm like, I might as well use my nickname,
Yep.
Johnny Rotten, because when you first start doing comedy, you really don't want anybody to know who you are. Because you don't know if you suck yet.
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
suck, you don't want to be...
My real name isn't Rob.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Jeff.
You don't want to tell everybody who you are if you're going to suck. So I said, I'll use my nickname.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of kept it. Yeah. And the more I kept it, the worse it got for me because the clubs hate it.
Yeah.
Clubs hate it.
Really?
And, you know, because they after you get to know me, you know, I'm not that bad of a guy.
No, you're not.
You're a great guy. I love shooting shit with you.
So it's kind of like a joke.
Yeah. Yeah, you would think, all right, Rob.
It wasn't when I was a kid. When I got that name as a kid, I earned every fucking syllable. But now that I'm older and wiser and slower and older.
Yep, just sticking to comedy. Yeah. Not get more, no more trouble.
Now it's just joking.
Did you have your manager with you back then?
Yeah, always had it.
Got my manager
my manager's been with me longer than my comedy career.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's great, dude. Freaking manager's right behind the couch right now. I brought it in with him. No, I don't know if this is like a weird question, but like, so what's comedy to you then? Like, is it like, I know some people, for me, it's a way to like spread positivity. It's brought a light into my life. Like I just have fun every time I leave an open mic or I leave a show. I'm like on cloud nine. I left last night after the last night's show. I kind of talking to my wife about how much fun I had and how much I love comedy and all this stuff. It's a good time. You know what I mean? So what's it comedy to you? Do you like? What do you get out of it? Is it like is it just something you like to do, or is it more of like a, you know, what does it do for you in your life or anything like that, just in general?
It's like a second wife.
Yeah.
You love her, you hate her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you still sleep with her every night. So
yeah. So nurture it.
It's kind of like a second wife because you love unbound your comedy. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes you hate it when you got a shit gig or
it's like
things ain't going well for you.
Yeah, you hit a rough patch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like you always can get back on your feet though. You know what I mean?
It's the girl you can't stay away from.
Yeah.
You try to dump her, she comes back, slashes your tires.
Yeah.
She's at your window at work tapping.
Yep, that's funny.
So you take her back and
work on it.
Yeah.
work on those jokes, you know. No, definitely.
Try to buy them stab-proof tires.
Yeah. Do they make those? No. Where I work, I could probably use those. I work in the tough neighborhood. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could have used them back in the
a
day.
few crazy ones you find out quick what tires don't stab.
Yeah. Just bends the knife.
Yeah.
But yeah, I fell in love with comedy from the minute I hit the first stage I ever got on.
That's awesome.
And then to be honest with you, I would have told you, I would have laughed you off if you would have ever told me before I started comedy. You should be yeah, okay. I should be a movie star too. But I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
But the minute I got on stage, I couldn't picture myself doing anything else.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think Rob can agree. It's like, dude, sometimes I'll be like, it's just weird. Like, I'm like, I never thought I would try it. Kyle Cody was like, hey, do John Prowse class. I'm like, I don't know. It's not really anything I've really thought of. But then Kyle graduated, and then actually I saw you when I first started watching Kyle go to the shows because I've known Kyle for a long time. But started going to comedy. Like, you know what? I could probably do that. You know what I mean? And I know Ryan Lopes from high school. He does comedy with Kyle. And
no, I know.
Yeah, Ryan. He's a good kid, and I'm like, he's doing it. And then Derek Fonseca's doing it with high school with him too. And I'm like, I could probably do this. They're all doing it. You know what I mean? So then at the end of the day, I ended up, giving it a shot, and then, me and Rob did it together. It's just like, I don't know about Rob if he agrees, but it's like, I never thought I would do this, you know what I mean? It's not something, because like, me, I'm like super shy, you know what I mean? I feel like me and Rob are pretty reserved, and like, for us to get up on stage and, you know what I mean? Get up and do the jokes, it's pretty big deal.
It's tough getting in front of a bunch of strangers and try to make them laugh.
Yeah.
That's not easy for anyone.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's like, I went to a party today for a friend of mine, and I love them dearly, and I've known them for a long while, but they got some people that I don't know as well, but it's just, I feel uncomfortable. I'm like, dude, I do comedy. I get in front of a bunch of people. I'm nervous to talk to some random strangers, not random strangers, but like talk to some other people I don't see all the time.
Yeah.
But it's different.
It is random strangers,
Yeah, it is a different thing. You know what I mean?
Especially when you go out of state.
Yeah, no, right.
Then you got to guess.
I feel that's when the fun starts.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It really is.
Yeah.
Because you don't know. You don't know how it's going to go.
Yeah.
I'm going to give that a shot myself. I'm going to be in Texas in July. I'm going to try to hit one of them going up to Maine in June.
You're going to try to do Kill Tony?
What? Oh, shit.
It's in Texas, dude.
Yeah, I'm going to...
Just scope it out.
I'm going to... oh, my God. What's the main town in Texas?
Houston?
Austin.
Austin? So, no, I'm not going... I'm going to Houston.
Houston?
Yeah.
So you're gonna go out
I'm
there?
in Houston for a week.
So you're gonna try to hit up some mics out there?
Yeah. I want to see what it's like to go.
Just hit up in every town has an open mic.
Yeah.
And I'll be in Bangor, Maine. I wonder if they have any open mics up in.
You know what they have?
Those Mainers, bro.
A train convention.
Yeah.
They have trains. Let's go.
Bangor, Maine,
Yeah.
Trailer
You
Park
gotta
Boys.
bang
That's right. How was that?
You're gonna bang the gore.
Yeah,
That's right.
he's gonna bang the mic, dude. You're gonna rock it, man.
You know the bars shut down at like 8 o'clock there.
Over there, really? You probably get you get an open mic. You'll be out before 11.
The only other part of Maine I've been.
The open mic could be way over. by 8 o'clock.
You'll be out nice and early.
Yeah, so I just figured, it might be fun to do that instead of like go out to dinner or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, there's not a lot of comedy in Maine, so I think. you should
No,
do it.
I know. I don't know what to expect. The only other part of Maine I've been to is like Old Port.
Yeah.
Old Port is awesome, but that's yeah. Who knows? We'll see. But Texas definitely.
Yeah,
Texas is gonna be fun.
yeah. You never know. Like I think
If you have the opportunity to go, like I never thought of that before. Like, oh, I have the opportunity to, we're going out of state to X, Y, Z, and I just started now thinking like, shit. Why don't I just try to hit one mic, see what different.
I try
ground
to
is
hit somewhere everywhere I go. Like
That's
if
a good
I go-
idea.
If I take a trip to Florida or something like that,
Yeah.
I'll call every club around where I'm at.
Good
yeah.
idea.
Like you get an open
Try
mic.
to get on the spot, yeah.
That's cool.
No, not I want to get on the clubs. I don't want to do the.
Oh, you want to get all in the clubs? That's a good idea. Never thought of that. I don't travel much, but I'm taking some time for July. If I go somewhere, I'm definitely check out if there's any mics around or anything like that. Why not? You know what I mean? You never know who's in the
If you guys
crowd.
go to Florida, I got a couple of ins down there.
What part
Yeah.
of Florida, if you can say?
I want to say Stanfield. It's up on the west coast.
Okay.
It's on the west side of Florida, like
Well, I know some
Sarasota.
east coasts too.
Oh, you do?
Nice.
Yeah, we have family like
Out in Naples and
what,
stuff.
near Fort Lauderdale and Naples. That area.
Yeah. If you ever go down there, check out an open mic. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Definitely, it's like I
Well, they got some clubs that'll give you some time too. They'll
Yeah.
showcase.
have to check that out. You never know because you never know who's in the crowd. You've been doing it for a while, right? Could you would think that's
Yeah.
a fair say? You
The
know who's
mics
in
are
the
more
crowd?
for the people who are from there.
Yeah.
That makes
better
sense.
there.
Yeah.
That's a place for you to get better in your own spot. I mean, you can do other mics other
Yep.
places, but it's really you're doing it so you can repetitively do it
Yeah.
and learn
Yeah.
the ropes.
That's true. Yeah.
If you're going to go out of state, you don't really want to do an open mic out there because it's an open mic for them. It's
Yeah.
not really. I mean, they'll like
Yeah.
you. They'll probably laugh at all your stuff and then
Yeah.
get
Who the
half your
fuck is that guy?
materials theirs now.
Yeah. Right. Like who the fuck is that
You
guy?
want to do a showcase or something like that, so you hit up
Good
a
point.
club and say, I'm from out of state. I'm going to be here for a little while. Is there a showcase
That's true.
or something I can
That's
jump
cool.
on? You don't want to really. You want to do your best to try to get on the club.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
as Mike. I mean, there's going to be shows too. Like if you got friends that moved out of state to like New York or something like that, and they got an in with shows, you can get shows off of them
Yeah.
that ain't open mics. But like, I wouldn't go to New York to do an open mic.
Yeah. Like travel up there.
Why
Yeah.
am I going to spend 3 hours on the road to go? I mean, I know a lot of guys do it,
Yeah.
but not
But for
an
you,
open mic.
for you, you're more like I want to do with a showcase.
Yeah, I want to do a show.
Makes sense.
I'd rather be
Fair
in front
assessment.
of a crowd that wants to hear.
Yeah, if you're gonna drive that far, if you're in town, you're like, you're like Rob's, if you're in work business, you know what I mean? Check something out, you know what I mean? Stop in, grab a beer, see what's going on, or you could, like you said, hit up a club for like a showcase, something like that.
You don't
Definitely a
want to
good
drive
point.
4 hours and get your ego crushed.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Not- There's
Yeah,
three
right.
people at the open mic in Florida.
Yeah, right.
Drove 26 hours to get here.
You want a fucking depressing night? Just go to the fucking strip club, get your
It's
fucking
just-
hopes
it's
and
just
dreams
an
crushed there.
Yeah. It's just a sidebar, fun thing to do.
Yeah.
If obviously like if you got something else going on, you can just hop
Yeah.
on. I don't know. Maybe bring your shitty jokes you don't really give a shit about and see if
can
those
do
work.
that.
I don't know.
Yeah. Just try it out somewhere else. You know what I mean?
So you keep something that keeps coming up as you never know who's going to be there. You never who's going to.
You just never know.
So,
I guess that's how I see it.
And now I'm thinking like John, have you ever met anybody like off the cuff doing this? Like that's
Yeah.
crazy. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Can you say like who you like? Was there like who'd you meet like that would stand out to you?
What's his name? I want to say his name, but I don't want to fuck it up.
Yeah.
Because he does like little
Yeah.
little comedy thing. He's a comic,
Yep.
but he's like a sitcom comedy.
Okay. Is he funny? Who was? Did you meet him in Rhode Island? or?
Name some.
Like sitcoms people?
No. comics that are
Like,
I got pictures of people.
Yeah,
I can show
all
you
right.
a picture.
Yeah.
And you'll probably say I'm horrible with names.
yeah.
That's why I don't want to fuck it up because
No,
then
it's
they'll be
all right.
like, oh, you couldn't remember me.
Yeah.
No.
But he was like a local guy, and you saw him.
They use national.
Yeah?
And,
Oh, well.
I've met so many national comics,
Yep.
like Lenny
Yeah.
and Steve Sweeney.
Yep.
Like I've met some pretty big people.
Yeah. And like they just approach you. You never know. Like, or they say, "Hey, good set," or whatever. You share the stage with them, or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like you just never know who's going to be there.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because like I've seen it firsthand. Whatchamacallit, like someone, what is it? They were doing a show. It was the open mic.
Yeah.
And I've seen, I don't know if I should name it, but I've seen like two people communicating like, listen, that person's funny, we should book them. And I was like, holy shit. You know what I mean? Like that, you know what I mean? That's how it happens. You know what I mean?
Well,
so you just never know.
who's going to be booker in the crowd.
Yeah.
Because believe it or not, a lot of times they'll go check out an open mic or something like that just to see what the talent's doing.
Yep.
See who's doing what.
Yeah, scoping out the scene.
How well developed they are.
Yeah. Yep. So you never know.
You never know. Always try to do your best, no matter what.
Well, my next question was going back. This is back in time a little bit, but the comedy park.
Yeah, I love the comedy park.
You performed there. That was the first time I seen you there. I don't know if it was the night it opened. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was you, John. I think Kyle performed that night.
Probably. Yeah.
And I saw you there, and they was running for a little bit. That place. Yeah. How was it performing there? I'm wishing I had to comedy beforehand. Yeah, it was a good spot over there.
They let me do a couple. They let me promote a few shows.
Yep.
I had probably 3 or 4 shows there.
Yeah.
They all went decent.
Yeah. I wish me and Rob were doing comedy at the time when we could have gone and done a show there. That place looked really cool. You know what I mean? It seemed like it was a popular spot for sure. You know?
And I was always trying to give spots to the guys that weren't getting spots. From other guys, so.
Yeah.
Because we all been there. We all feel like we all should get booked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all want to get booked. Yeah. Everyone wants to get booked at the end of the day.
But there's only so many shows that you can get booked on unless you start another one.
Yeah.
And your best bet is to start your own show.
Yeah.
And then book your friends. Because you'll have a good time.
Yeah.
You can't book your friends over and over again. You got to still look out for comics.
Yeah.
You want to give them to whoever you think's funny.
Yep.
Whoever's going to fit into that mold that you're trying to, like whatever the shows you're trying to get out of the show, you want to have the right comics doing it. Like you don't want to have a bunch of dark comics and then one clean comic on it.
Yeah.
It's going to suck.
Yeah, it'll throw off the thing. Throw off the vibe, so to speak.
Yeah.
That's a good point. And they kind of talk about stuff like that. Last night's show was fun.
Yeah, last night's was fun.
Yeah, what was it? The Comedy Park showcase with Aaron and you and Lucas Estrella's first show was, was it Stephanie? It was Peterson.
Peters,
hilarious, dude.
She's
brought that place down. Yeah, she pulled a sandwich out of her shirt. I mean, someone eat it. That was insane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then your set too. I wanted to touch base on that. If I can, the towel joke.
Yeah.
I won't give away too much, but like, because you joke, but that was hilarious. That's funny. That's one of my favorite jokes that you do. It's funny. I'm like, I thought about it. I was like, imagine if someone actually did that.
Yeah. That'd be
That's kind of fucked up.
That'd be you'd never invite him back over your house.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, my snacks are crunchy.
That rotten thing.
Yeah, that was funny. You know what I mean? Last night was a good time. I definitely think because we do open mics there. You know what I mean? I think Rob's going there tonight to do the open mic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so different. I've only been there for open mics, right? And then I went there for the show last night.
The place,
holy shit, it's cool. It's a cool place for a show. You know what I mean? You could fit a lot of people in there too. I'm really looking forward. Me and Rob are on the next show. I don't know if it's the next showcase or we're doing the one in a couple months. It's going to be a good one. I like it that you get a bunch of comics.
It's going to be fun to go up there.
Just $20. You get a bunch of comics on the bill. Yep. You got, 2-3 headliners in a way? You know what I mean?
The food was flowing, the beers were flowing, everyone's having a good time.
The sandwiches were getting pulled out.
That place got loud,
yeah.
dude.
It was
the towels were sticky. Yeah.
After I was done.
Yeah. But I think it's funny because you kind of like don't say anything, you look at the crowd. Everyone's like, "What's this guy doing?
Yeah.
How's it going?" And when you probably like recognize like my voice or something like that. And I think been working with you for a little bit, so I know, but I think it's just funny because like I think the crowd's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
That's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
Well, it's to get them. I do the silence thing to build anticipation.
Tension, get their attention.
And then a lot of guys don't like this, but I yell right up front.
Yep.
And they think I yell through the whole thing. I don't yell through the whole thing. It's just up front. It's just to make sure you're paying attention.
Yeah.
If you notice, everybody in the whole room,
Right.
as soon as you do it, they're all right. What the hell?
You get their attention.
Now you got them. Now it's up to me not to lose them.
Yeah, smart. That's smart. Smart way to look at it or to do it. You know what I mean? Say so. Kind of like your writing style and your style of comedy. Would you be willing to kind of share like some insight on that? Like
Sure.
what you think your style of comedy is, or if you could pinpoint? I think it's kind of hard to put a label on it, but just some general idea, just some
I can
general
easily label
conversation on it.
Good weed.
Yeah.
I smoke good weed.
Yeah.
They say funny stuff. If it's funny enough, I write it down.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't really. If I say something funny and I catch it, I'll write a note to write
Like,
something.
yeah,
out
work
about
on it a
Yeah.
little bit.
I like that.
and then I'll work it. Like you'll hear, it seems like you hear the same joke every time, but every time I say it a little bit different, I try to tweak it just a little bit more. Because to me, a joke's never done.
Okay. Yep. You can
So-
always be worked.
You can always make it better. I mean, once you get it to a certain point, you want to kind of stay within the parameters of what's funny.
Yeah.
But you can always lose stuff. You can
Yep.
always, you can always add stuff like a punchline or a callback or something
Yeah.
or a tag.
Yep.
You can always add something to it.
Yeah.
So I don't think a joke's ever done,
Yep.
to be honest.
I think that's important to think about too, because it's like I had a joke. Well, some of my jokes, like the ones I'm most confident with, is like a lot of my Walmart stuff.
Yeah.
Just because I've known it, I've done it for so long, Walmart, and just like it's a story, and I'm a good storyteller. I feel like so. I'm still working on that joke, and I always find ways I can make it better. Or it's like a puzzle piece. You take out this, detach that piece, put a new one on, and you can always change it up depending on where you're going, where you're performing, or if like you just want to make it sound a little different sometime. I mean, I think jokes are always evolving, and I think it's really good to keep them fluid like that.
That's true. A joke is always evolving.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
And you can fuck with your, can you say fuck?
Yeah.
You say whatever you want.
People said
Well,
worse.
I had to look at
shit,
the editor.
piss.
I know, right? He's like, are we going to bleep that out?
Just a PSA from the editor. Cunt. There you go. We're
That's
good.
a good one.
Yeah, that's a good
My
one.
Continue.
sister would hate you for that one. But what the hell was I saying?
Yeah, like the joke writing process.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can like they're interchangeable and they're fluid.
If you know how you set up your set of
Yeah.
jokes, like
Yeah.
you have A, B, C, D, whatever. However
Yeah.
you do it, 1, 2, 3, 4, however you set your setup,
Yeah.
you can interchange those too.
Yep.
And you try to because it might be funny in one way.
Yeah.
Like we all have an idea of where we want to start and where we want to end.
Yep.
It's good to mix it up because you'll remember it better, and you'll never get lost. Because if you're up there and you're doing A, B, C, D every single time,
Yep.
it can get monotonous.
Yeah.
If you switch it up, it makes it new, and it kind of comes off new to the audience.
Yeah, it keeps it fresh, you so to speak. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever gotten bored of your own stuff?
All
Is that what you're
the
getting?
time.
So you're kind of like roundabouts. It's like
all
yeah,
the time.
I feel like
Yeah.
I'm so
Like
freaking bored of like some shit I always say. So I always try to come to like an open mic with something new, but then I
Here's
suck
the
at that.
thing.
It's like you just work on one thing, but I don't.
Here's the thing, though. How long is it taking you to get bored with it?
So I have 2 jokes that I've kept in my rotation for 6 months of that. Now I'm starting to get bored of after 6 months.
Okay,
You
you'll
think
start feeling it around a couple of months.
yeah.
Yeah.
But a joke's
Yeah.
lifespan is longer than that.
Yeah.
Like you may be bored to shit with that joke, but you'll still, if it works, that's the joke you're gonna pull out every single time.
Yeah.
Yeah, those 2 that I've kept since I started.
Like if
They
you have
did the
tried
best
and
at
true stuff that
cellos.
you know, I'm gonna say this, they're gonna laugh.
Yep.
That's the joke you're gonna say, regardless. If you're on a show,
Yeah.
and that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to say funny stuff. You're not supposed to. If it's not funny yet,
Yeah, like you don't want to. Yeah. Well, is it so? Would you say hit them like open up with your best material, hook them in, reel them in, so to speak?
Second best.
Second best.
Start with your second best,
Okay.
end with your best.
Yep. All
in
right.
the middle, no one remembers.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I think a joke that I got bored
Sure.
with, you know what I mean, was not that I got bored with, but I was telling my toenail joke a lot, the Walmart one. I think you've heard it.
It's funny.
Yeah, it kind of got, after a while, like I was like, all right, I was using it a lot because it was my strongest joke. But now that, this could be like a note for just in general, like now that I've been saying it, I've been doing comedy a bit more now, and I'm like understanding, I'm getting my voice a little bit, understanding the process. I've found ways to deliver it better, which I think is important. You know what I mean? Like, some of Rob's jokes that he says, you could always, some of his jokes, I won't give them away, but like there's ways he could deliver them depending on the crowd or whatever, and it can make them, like, you can keep them fresh. You know what I mean?
I've swapped political stances on like 5 times in 1 week, so no one really. I don't do political jokes a lot, but I have. So so am I a Trump guy? Am I a Harris guy? No one will ever know.
So you keep them in the dock.
Yeah. See, I feel like that's important too.
I think you can bust on everybody.
You should. You should be able to bust on everybody.
Yeah.
But I particularly don't try to. I try not to.
Like political. Yeah. How do you feel? Like, do you think it's important to kind of keep politics out of comedy, or just keep it general?
No, you're supposed to have that's the whole. That's one of the reasons for comedy.
To like,
just say what no one else wants to say.
Yeah.
And it's 90% of the time, even horrific shit is funny.
Yeah.
But never gets said because no one's willing to say it.
Yeah. My cat's freaking out. Come on, kitty. Yeah, I get that. You know what I mean? I definitely think, like you said, you want to keep. Me personally, I don't want to put my political beliefs out there. You know what I mean? But if you can keep it open-ended, in general.
Well, you're risking half the crowd.
Yeah, you're risking half. But I mean, if like, let's do like Trump Biden stuff. Like if I do a ripper on Biden, fine. But if I do a ripper on Trump too, it's like,
well,
it's like
it's all okay.
Yeah, you should be.
Yeah. You should be able to joke about
political, it. If you lean left or you lean right, and you want to do jokes about the other side, it's okay. You're supposed to check power whenever you can.
Yeah.
I particularly don't do it because I like to keep the whole crowd.
Yeah, I feel like you could alienate the crowd.
I don't want to alienate nobody. I want everybody to like me. I want everybody to laugh.
Yeah, have fun.
And if you start picking and choosing what you're going to go after them for, like some people get mad. You say, oh my God, some people, you say Trump, oh my God, they lose their fucking mind.
Yeah.
And I'm not even talking about the ones that hate Trump. I'm talking about the ones that love him.
Yeah.
Like, you mess with them even a little bit, they're all over you. And then you get somebody, or if you mess with Biden or something and you happen to mention Trump, God help you, because you'll get canceled.
Yeah. I feel like it's tough. I feel like it's tough. You got to find that sweet spot. You know what I mean? I think I like comics that they just joke on everybody. You know
well, you're supposed to. Look at Don Rickles.
Yeah.
He ripped on everyone.
Yeah.
He didn't give a shit who you were.
Yeah.
Colin,
Punching up.
He didn't care.
Oh, yeah.
When he was talking political, everybody tries to grab him for the right and for the left.
Yeah.
But he was just as biased on all of them. He thought they were all trash.
Yep. He's very cynical worldview.
Republican or Democrat.
Yep.
They were all part of the same masters.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a whole nother camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I think
Republican and Democrat, and then you got the third camp who's like, both of them don't fucking matter because there's the shadow guys up there somewhere, basically puppeteering them, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like you should keep if you're gonna do political. Me personally, I feel like it should be ambiguous. Like, don't let them know your political beliefs in a way. Because me personally, I hate to say it, I feel like we live in a time where it's tough. You don't want to, if you're trying to make a name for yourself, you really don't want someone to. You don't want to put a label. I hate to say it, but like I feel like depending on if you're putting yourself out there, people might view you like, oh, he's a Trump supporter, he's a lefter. You know what I mean? You want people. I hate that has to be like that though, because I honestly feel like that's a risk that you're taking.
You are.
You know what I mean? Unfortunately, but at the end of the day, completely honest, fuck politicians. At the end of the day, make fun all you want.
They're all bad.
I think it's fun.
Terrible.
Just punch up on them. It's fine.
They don't give a fuck about you, bro.
That's all I'm gonna say.
They care less about you. Than you
right.
care about them.
Yep. So just keep making the jokes. It's just my personal opinion.
Keep the jokes, baby.
Yeah.
I don't think. My view as a comic is you should be able to say whatever the fuck you want.
Yes.
If you don't want to hear it, don't go to the show.
Don't like me.
Or don't look at the video. Or don't watch the special.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
People don't, if they don't like something, and they might not even heard your stuff, and they're already trying to get you canceled. And that's ridiculous.
Yeah. I definitely think. I was gonna say it's.
If you're funny, they will laugh.
Yeah.
Exactly. If it's funny.
Yep. Yep.
Funny's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Well, I watch some comics, and I'm like, I'm trying to do a bit cleaner stuff too, just because like I find myself writing cleaner stuff anyway. But I'm like, and I get kind of discouraged because I go to some mics or some shows, and people are just like saying raunchy stuff, swearing, and just like, and I'm like, man, is that really what people want to laugh at these days? It's kind of hard. You know what I mean? It's hard finding that medium.
It's more shocking because
Yeah.
one of the triggers is surprise,
Yeah.
and that's where most people get from the dirty. When they go dark or dirty,
Yeah.
they're going for that surprise laugh.
Yeah. Or like that shock
Like,
value.
oh my God, I can't believe you said that.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's easy comedy.
Yeah.
If you're making somebody laugh from a surprise, it's kind of cheating.
Yeah.
Not really, but yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just thinking like crazy. I'm just like, well, I wonder if
Clean's
there's
tough. Clean's
clean is tough.
because if you do clean, you can always dirty it up.
Sure.
yeah,
When
that's
you do
true.
dirty, you can't always clean it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can try to say it as politely as you can, but it's still going to be dirty.
Yeah.
Well, that was what I was thinking. Like, I wonder if there's a way you can make a bit like super dirty, and then just the surprise is it's actually clean.
Well,
I wonder if that's a thing.
it would start out dirty, right?
A white horse fell in a mud puddle.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Like, oh my
The
god,
oldest school, yeah,
I'm
the
gonna
dirtiest
suck
soak in the
her.
mud.
Chili because it was really good. I don't know. Just like so. I
Or
don't know.
chili. Yeah.
Like, I wonder if there's a way you can do that.
Yeah.
Just talking shit. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Oh, I think I was gonna say
It's hard to
before.
exchange. I came on her leg to I ejaculated on her leg.
Hey.
It doesn't make it any cleaner.
Yeah.
Hey, there's a great.
Her pants are still fucked up. I ain't
Yeah.
gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's funny you bring that up because that reminds me of how a comic can change everything.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna help Jack off a horse.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna help Jack off a horse.
Awful horse. Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
That's how you say it.
Yeah.
That's comedy.
I
right
love
there.
it.
It's not what
There
you
you go.
say, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely think you got a point. You can easily make your clean jokes dirty.
Yeah.
And I think it's easy. It's like it's better to play it safe. You know what I mean? But
Well, you'll get booked more.
yeah.
Clean books more.
Am I going to be? I've only been open disclosure. I've only done comedy for a couple months. I've only done a handful of shows, but
This I knew about him.
yeah, I do believe, honestly, that you do get book shows. But I do a cleaner stuff sometimes. And I feel like in a way that's helped me get booked. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because I've heard stories of people like, all right, well, yeah, they just seem a little too dirty or raunchy, and I want you on the show because we're entertaining this type of crowd.
Cost me quite a few
Yeah.
shows.
But hey, man,
I like how people come to me. They're like, I'm obviously not the cleanest guy,
Yeah.
but they go, "Can you do a clean set?" Yes. Thank you for asking.
Yeah.
And I
hey,
did.
as long as you can do both, I think I'll make you an even better comedian if you do clean and dirty.
Yeah.
I like
Well,
to bring the.
they want it clean.
Yeah.
A lot of the bookers, because they do churches, they do
Yeah, I understand that. It's,
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
dinner shows, John's dinner shows. He doesn't want you dirty on them.
no,
Yeah.
and that's the one.
Yeah,
that's
the
one
church
I did,
shows,
yeah.
they don't want to hear.
Yeah.
They don't want
They don't wanna hear you
towel
fucking-
at the church.
Yeah.
Congregate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Go to the
No.
church. So, yeah.
The pastor don't want to have to explain
Yeah. Right.
what the hell I'm talking about.
I was gonna say. Now, do you think it's important? I think because I'm thinking of stuff we've talked about it at open mic stuff like that. It's kind of like making me think while we're here for conversation. Yeah, it's like, do you think it's important to not get labeled as a comic? Like, oh, don't get labeled as a dirty
Oh, you should get
comic.
laid all the time
Or-
as a comic.
Oh, labeled. My bad. I said
labeled.
labeled.
I'm sorry.
I'm jumbling my words. Yeah. Do you think?
It sounds like a, should I get laid?
All right. Here's the question.
I don't know. About
Will
that
comedy get you laid?
Yeah, probably. I want to say no because my girlfriend's
Hey.
Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
And she stabs me a lot.
Yeah.
If I pick up saying the wrong thing.
Hey,
Yeah.
Just make them laugh all the way to the bedroom, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep. That's funny.
So what was your, I'm sorry.
No,
What
no,
was your-
sorry. Do you think it's important not to get labeled as a comic? Do you think it's like, do you think it's dangerous to get like labeled? Oh, they're a dirty comic or whatever. You know what I mean? Because I've heard stories.
It's harder when you get booked as a dirty comic
Yeah.
or a dark comic. If you're dirty or dark, people get iffy about booking you because they don't know what you're going to say.
Yeah, that's true. You're
And
kind of gambling.
And if you say whatever the hell comes to mind, sometimes that always doesn't work out to your favor.
Yeah.
If you're clean, you'll get booked a lot more.
Fair.
Yeah.
And you'll probably get paying gigs a lot quicker.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I think it's cool that we go over this because I feel like we have some comics that maybe like we see at the open mics that might be starting out like us, or or you never know who's watching. So this is good stuff that like someone that's watching like, oh, this is good advice because you've been doing it for a while, and I appreciate you giving me Rob pointers. Like we've talked to you outside of open mics, like outside. We'll do the mic. We'll be talking in the parking lot for a while, giving us pointers, doing it for here. You know what I mean? It's cool that we can put that on tape because you never know who's watching it.
Well,
you know what I mean?
it's important for comics to know that
Yeah.
you can ask another comic.
Yeah,
Advice.
Absolutely.
You're supposed to.
yeah, exactly.
I like that.
And if the comic doesn't want to give you advice, he's probably not going to be a comic because your whole point, like part of the job is interacting with people.
Yeah.
Like the more resources you have, the more shows you'll get on. Like everybody gets mad because John doesn't book them for this or that, John Prada.
Yeah.
But you got to realize John's got 400 comics he's trying to fill spots for.
Yeah.
So if you don't get on his rotation right away, you'll get there. It's
just be patient.
He's trying to fill the spots that he already promised out.
Yeah.
Like last year.
Yeah.
Like there's guys getting booked this year for last year bothering him.
Yeah.
So you can't get mad because you ain't been on a bunch of his shows.
Yeah.
Same thing with Funny for Funds. They got a roster of comics they got to go through.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and if you're cleaner, you're more likely to get on those shows.
Yeah. Yep.
Because they got a lot of dinner shows and fundraiser shows.
Right
Those shows they kind of want to keep kind of clean, especially when they're doing Bobby's baseball league.
Well, yeah,
They
that was
want
the
guys
thing.
up there,
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that was like you don't want to because they book shows for like sometimes for things for kids. You know what I mean? Or like a high school fundraiser. I saw one was for
a
a high
lot of
school fundraiser. I
fundraisers,
think.
Football fundraisers, baseball, basketball.
Yeah, and you don't want to be talking about friggin'
No.
having sex. It's just not. It's not appropriate. You know what I mean?
No, 15-minute vagina monologue. Kids softball.
Vagina
No,
monologue.
It's not gonna do it.
The vagina I met last night. Let me tell you about it.
So, dude,
What's up, guys? You're about to learn something new today.
I'm Johnny Ron. I'm about to tell you about
Meanwhile,
this.
there's someone
pussy.
tying balloon animals in the back. You're just like, oh, shit.
my first 2 years was all vagina joke.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, it was like 15, 20 minutes of vagina joke.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, you know how. Yeah, you don't know
Yeah,
how deep you can go into that hole.
Yeah.
Into that
Yeah.
rabbit hole.
Hey.
yeah. Pun intended. He was like, I set that up. Oh man, shit. I was gonna say something with the yeah, like I said, so getting labeled definitely. I think it's important, me personally, to not get labeled as a dirty comic or dark comic. Just do your thing. No offense to anyone that is, because that's fine. That's your thing. You know what I mean? The way I want it as me and Rob tell you all the time. I don't want to disrespect anybody. We want to be out here. I love when people come. I've had some people talk to me about their set or whatever, and I'm not afraid to go to another comic and ask advice. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So my point is just like, I'm asking you these questions. Like, you've been in it for a while, so we got a veteran comic on here. Get your input too. You know what I mean? And then I think one of the other questions, one of the last questions or so that I had was, we were talking about in the parking lot. There was a really good conversation we had. When you're writing, how do you think? What's your best advice for rehearsing? You know what I mean? On comedy. I personally write all my stuff down, word for word. I'll recite it word for word, and then I'll just create cue words.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Your best. You come up with a funny idea. Write it out. Mm-hmm. Longhand. Like everything you think to put on there, put it in there.
Okay.
Then say it a bunch of times. Then go to an open mic, try it out.
Yep.
See what works, see what doesn't. See what feels like fluff and and what feels like the meat and potatoes of it. Then cut it down.
Yeah.
Try it again. Cut it down again. Try it again. Once you get it down, once you've done it like 10 or 15 times, you pretty much got the joke down.
Sweet. Yeah.
Now, if you're going to be putting it in with a bunch of other jokes in an order that you're going to do them, you can do one word on a piece of paper, and you'll know that's for this whole joke.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if it's a 3-minute joke or a 30-second joke. That one word should tell you what joke you're on, and then go from there. And a lot of times it doesn't even have nothing to do with the joke that you'll put the word.
Yeah.
The word won't have nothing to do with the joke because you don't need it. As long as it makes you remember the joke that you're trying to tell, you should get it down to like one word.
Yeah, it's good advice.
And if you're gonna cheat, have like a little piece of paper on the stool. Don't use your phone.
Yeah.
If you're sitting there like this and you're talking to a audience and then you look down at your phone, it's the worst thing you can do because now they know.
Yeah.
Even though it's your thing,
Yeah.
you don't remember it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you peek at a stool and see one word and I know where I'm going.
Yeah.
A lot different than hold on.
Yeah.
That's something I need to work on because I don't remember what the fuck I had for breakfast, let alone when
See what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? So
if I'm in a conversation with you,
Yeah.
and I say hold on.
Yeah. Yeah. It throws it off. Yeah.
It's
Hold
the same
on.
thing. Same thing with an audience. If
Yeah.
you do that, they immediately shuts them off for you.
Good point. Yeah, I know.
And I'm not saying no. I know a lot of people do it.
The show I didn't look at my phone or anything. So I was,
No, not you.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't. Like, that's good advice.
I feel bad though because I
look at my phone.
I'm picking on.
No, not at all. I look at my phone all the time, like I have open mics, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I surprised myself that I didn't have to when I really thought I did. So it was a crutch that wasn't needed.
That would be what I mean. Try to not do it at open mics too.
Right.
Because
Yeah, that's a good point.
It'll prep you for when you're doing a show. Because if you're doing a show,
well, you know what happened, John?
It's a killer.
Actually, this is a super good point. Because plus in the parking lot, we were also talking about, if you recite your jokes.
Yeah.
What are you going to do when you're going to go on a mic? You're going to recite it. What's going to happen when you go to a show? You're going to sound like this, like you're scripted. Looking down at your phone, you know what I fucking noticed about me?
What?
Is even if I don't have a phone, no note cards, nothing, it's all memorized. I tell a joke, and then as soon as I tell the punchline, I do this.
Yep.
There's no phone there. There's no note card there. It's just an empty stool.
It's your
and then I look
mind.
back up, and then I had someone look at the footage with me, and they were like, every time you do that, you tell your punchline, everyone's laughing, and you're doing this. It basically tells the audience that you're tuned out. You're done.
Yeah, you're done.
He's like...
You're done with that.
And now he kind of
engaged.
cuts them off. He's like, stay engaged.
Yeah.
And that just makes a bunch of sense now because I'm always doing this on the phone, open mics. So
You'll get out of that habit, though.
that's good advice,
They really are. They're Easter egg. And you'll learn as you go that some of the little stupid shit that you think doesn't matter matters a lot. Like moving that mic stand out of your way.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I hear that. It's a big thing.
Huge. I mean, unless you're going to use it. If you're going to use it, that's different. And I'm not
do them
anybody
both.
that uses it.
I do both.
But if you're not going to use the mic stand, put it behind you.
Clear the stage.
Because it's you that they want to pay attention to, not the stand.
I use the
in
mic
front of
as a fucking prop a lot, so I always try to hold it.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I drop stuff or I put stuff,
you. You know what's good too
on my arm, whatever.
for
So
newer comics? Let your jokes breathe.
Yeah.
Because you say a joke and then you rush to get to the next.
that's another thing I do.
You-
People are laughing, then I'm cutting them off.
You're stepping
It's like,
all over your laugh.
It's like I'm cutting. I just did that to you, right? I cut you off in conversation.
Yeah.
That's basically what you're doing with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like if they're laughing and then you're just going on to the next thing, like allow time for it to, say it, let it time for it to resonate, let them laugh.
Don't be afraid of the silence.
Yeah, and I think that comes with just practicing your set a lot and just talking
Once you get calm
naturally.
up there.
Yeah,
Comfortable. Once you're comfortable.
Oh, you're rushing up there, you're freaking out, you're trying to get through it. But then you get down, you're like, what the fuck? I rushed through that. I should have enjoyed the moment more.
Exactly.
You know?
Like, let that moment. Like, if you get a killer laugh, there's nothing like giving it a second.
It's
and
fucking
taking that
resonating,
time.
man.
Yeah, I got that.
I
this
love
time.
that.
You know what
Yes.
I mean? And then you go into your next one, and you'll feel the ebb and flow. Like, you'll hear the laughter go up, and then it'll crescendo, and then it'll start coming back down. And that's when you want to hit them, right when it starts coming back down.
Yeah.
You don't want to hit them right before they get there, because then you shut it down.
Yeah.
Right.
Shut the whole shit down, and now they're trying to catch up to hear what the fuck you're saying. Because they were in the middle of laughing.
Yeah.
So they missed the first part of
Yep.
your intro to whatever you're doing next.
Yeah.
So let them
Good
breathe,
advice.
let it kind of,
Yeah, it's great
it'll
advice.
work. You'll feel it as you go.
no, shit.
That's great advice. Yeah.
I don't know if it's any good. Some
No,
comics
that-
are probably going to watch this.
No.
Go, bullshit, I don't know what
Nick,
he's talking about.
I think it's great advice. You know what I mean? I feel like,
I think so.
yeah, I definitely think, like, let it, because you don't want to cut people off as they laugh and enjoy themselves. You're going to go out there and you're going to cut them off. Like you said, just let them, let it resonate.
Stomped all over so many jokes.
Yeah.
Like I do a great delivery, get it nice, get them laughing. As soon as they start laughing, I'm in the next joke.
You didn't
And now
do that
they don't
last
laugh
time,
for 2 more jokes because they're still trying to figure out what the fuck was that.
Yeah, what the hell's going on? You know what I mean?
And you know what? I didn't find that out until somebody told me about it. Somebody in the audience told me. He's like, that fucking joke you said was funny. And then you went into the next one, and I didn't even have time to laugh at it.
Yeah.
And I was like, and at the time I was like, oh, he's critiquing me.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want to. teach ourselves enough.
Yeah,
We don't need anybody else telling us.
Yeah.
So I didn't take it as what it was at the time that it was told to me. But later on, I realized I caught myself stepping all over my punchlines.
Yep.
And then I realized, oh, I better take a breath.
Yeah.
And then somebody told me, don't be scared of the silence.
Yeah. It's a good advice. You know?
Once you get over being a fear of that silence, you'll use it.
Yeah.
And when you can use it, it's the best thing because it'll build laughter up before you even said a word.
Yeah. And I think it's about being conscious up there too. And just take a second, realize, like, I think if you're nervous, like I'm speaking from experience, you're so focused on doing your jokes and getting the hell out of there because you're so nervous. Just recognize you're up there. You know, be like, I'm up here. I'm telling these jokes. Just live in that moment, and it'll be so much easier to deliver it and to be more calm.
Yep.
But I kind of wanted to, before I get to the end, I just wanted to touch on really quick. Is there any like a memorable point in your comedy career that you would remember you'd want to share, with anyone quickly? I'm thinking, because I think that's kind of
Good
interesting
memories
thing.
or bad ones? Because I have a couple of
You could do one of
crazy
each.
stories.
Whatever you want to do, something memorable, something you remember that you take with you. You know what I mean? Like, well, I'll never forget that. Because I have some myself. I'm sure you have some. Been doing it for a while.
The sold out shows are always like right at the top of the list.
Yeah.
I did a show for Dawn Tyler out in Connecticut at a theater that she was involved with, and it's in her hometown.
Yeah.
And so the place was packed, and it was a theater.
Yeah.
Like, it was a
It's
theater,
big.
and that was big.
Yeah.
That was big. I mean, I've worked a lot of places, and that was big.
Yeah.
Going to theaters, there's nothing like it.
cool.
When you get,
It's a big
anytime you
crowd.
get over 200-300 people or more, it's something.
It's a big crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't get that feeling every day.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I think Toast and Tap. What was it? It's a show I did for John, and that ended up selling out. That was really cool. You know what I mean? It's definitely something. I'm sure some people can, but it's like at the end, it's like also like how many people can be like, yeah, I did a sold out show, whether it's 65 seats or it's 1,000. At the end of the day, that's pretty cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have anything crazy that ever happened to you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Got a couple of them.
Like a funny.
Couple of them.
Yeah.
I almost don't want to say this because there was another comic. But
It's all right. You don't have to. If you don't want
I
to.
won't mention any names, but you know who you are. I'm not going to say it. But there was a fundraiser
Yeah.
for somebody that died.
Okay.
And they were throwing the fundraiser, and like 5 people showed up for this fundraiser, plus the comics.
jeez.
So we had like 15 people there all together.
Yeah.
Okay.
5 or 6 comics, and then maybe
Small group.
a small group of people. And one of the comics got in an argument with one of the crowd members during his set,
Yeah.
right? So now, fast forward another 10 minutes later, we're all outside smoking,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It ends up with a fist fight between the comic and the kid. And then the other comic who was throwing the fundraiser came out swinging.
Oh my god.
And so there was a
What a
P.S.
shit
brawl. Me, Eddie Galvin, and I forget who else. I think it might have been Robbie Cavaco.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Robbie Cavaco. We're sitting there eating popcorn, watching the whole nightmare go down. It was hilarious.
That's crazy, yeah.
It wasn't hilarious at the time.
Yeah, but think
especially for
about it, like-
people involved. I mean,
Yeah. But
God
think,
bless them, but
yeah.
it's
It's just the absurdness of it happening like that.
Yeah, we still did 15, 20 minutes a piece over there. It was terrible.
Wow, that's funny. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you sharing that with us. I definitely, I think you can do comedy for a little bit. I definitely think you can find some memorable moment. I got some. I'm sure Rob's got a couple. So I appreciate you sharing it. And like kind of, shows and stuff like that. Do you have any shows coming up that you want to plug?
I do.
Sweet.
I'm doing the Fox and Hound.
Okay.
Steve's. It's a feature spot, like not feature. Showcase.
Okay.
Showcase spot for Steve Sweeney's
Nice.
at the Steve Sweeney Comedy Den, Fox and Hound, Quincy, Mass.
Nice.
And then the 20th, I'm at Seafood and Cones Restaurant for Joel.
Yep.
And that's in Rainham, Mass.
Oh, nice.
And that's June 20th.
Nice.
And the Steve Sweeney one's June 5th.
Awesome. You guys heard it there. Check it out. June 5th, June 20th. check it out. Look for Johnny Ron on social media. You can find some of his comedy, stuff like that.
We'll link him up.
It's
I'll
RO.
have some sticky towel merch for you to buy.
You got a free sticky towel with every fucking ticket.
Hey, this is the first time we can announce we have clickable links. So
We'll start
click that
selling
Johnny
sticky
Ron.
tickets
Yeah.
pretty soon.
Yeah. Complimentary towel. We'll make it himself.
Give you a little bit of me with the show.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm just kidding.
You can hang it up in your neighbor's bathroom.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Not if you want to be liked by that neighbor.
Yeah, right. That's funny. Well, yeah, guys, check it out. Yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in. Robbie said there'll be clickable links on there.
Oh yeah, we now have clickable links. I know that sounds stupid. Clickable links is like YouTube gatekeeps the ability for someone just to click a link. It'll just be like plain text. Now we got full feature eligibility.
Oh really?
So now it'll say find Johnny Rotten here, and then boom.
I will give you some links to click.
There we go. Yeah. Give them to, we'll get them on there. And yeah, you guys, like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate all the support.
Big time.
We have the next comedian coming on. Should I plug it or do you want to wait?
Plug them.
Yeah, we got,
I don't want to be rude to Johnny, but if Johnny's cool with it,
I don't mind.
Yeah,
let's plug him up.
All right, next comic, we got Stephen Finley, a.k.a. Dirty Grandpa, coming on.
Dirty Grandpa.
Yeah, he's coming on.
Dirty Grandpa's going to grace this couch.
Watch. Yes. Johnny Rotten's gracing it tonight.
I got here first.
Yeah. I'm gonna get the new couch after he's on.
Got sticky beer.
Yeah. he's got a couple sticky towels. Nah, he's a funny guy. Looking forward to having him on. Johnny, I do appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much.
For having me.
Yeah, always insightful.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
All right,
anytime,
guys.
John. We'll have you back.
Yeah, check him out. Check him out. He's a funny guy. Find out what the sticky towel's about. And we'll catch you guys next time. All right, see you later.
See you guys.